What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video we have to go ahead and talk to you guys about some interesting changes that could be coming to the Reboot van in the very near future. If you haven't been paying attention to all the leaks and rumors that have been going around recently, there have been some leaks and things in the files that actually indicated that in the near future, as in not right now, but in a future update or maybe with the launch of a new season, they were going to add the option to buy something with the Reboot van. It appeared like in the early stages it was just going to be Reboot cards. So let's say your friend fully bleeds out and everything else and you're unable to get his card in like the 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes or whatever else it is, but you still want to reboot them for the late game. You'd be able to go up to any of those Reboot vans and actually purchase a Reboot card, meaning that you'd be able to reboot 1 or 2 or however many people in your squad back with your bars instead of actually, going and grabbing their cards all the time, which might save you out of some sketchy situations. However, at the exact same time, it did bring up a lot of questions about how is it going to really work. Is there going to be a cutoff limit or whatever else to it? But it appears that this whole entire system of being able to buy people back is going to be something that might not be related to actually buying the Reboot cards themselves, but instead buying an upgraded version of their Reboot. Because via Lulu World over on Twitter, we've gotten some new information regarding a stronger Reboot card coming in the near future, and it mentions the following type of information. In the files and kind of reference in the code and everything else, it is mentioned as an enhanced resurrection. Now, considering the fact that Fortnite doesn't really call reboots resurrections and calls them reboots, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just like an early dev name they're working on, and the actual name we get in game is pretty much the same thing, but instead of saying resurrection, it's more of like enhanced reboot or something like that. It would just make sense, especially since they're working on making buffed versions of the Reboot cards. It would just kind of match everything else and be called like, purchase an enhanced Reboot card or something along those lines. On top of that, instead of just spawning with a pistol like the normal Reboot does right now, it would spawn you with a hollow twister assault rifle and a big shield pot you'd be able to use right away. It would also give you a buff in order to get more ammo and mats from the start, so you wouldn't start off with just, the basic stuff you already get. You would get an enhanced amount of different ammunition in your inventory since, it's focused on like the hollow AR. Maybe it would just be focused on stuff like medium bullets, but I wouldn't be surprised if it gave you a huge range of bullets across all the weapons that you might pick up and find on the ground, but also mats as well, so your wood, brick, and gold, or I mean not gold, but your metal, those would all have a little bit more right off rip when you actually get rebooted. Now, in terms of stuff like, rebooting taking less time or more time, it appears that it would take the normal amount of time that a normal reboot takes, so you would basically be spending bars and then you would still have to dodge anyone trying to stop you from rebooting your teammates, but it would allow them to actually come back in a more effective manner and allow them just to kind of, be more overpowered in general and have a better chance of fighting off whatever it might be late game. So it is an interesting thing to actually see them working on, and it is something that might be a little bit of a ways out, but it would be interesting to see how they actually rotate the different weapons you actually get depending on what is going on in the current season. Because if we go to a future season that doesn't have like the hollow twister assault rifle, for example, I assume they would swap that out with whatever the current base assault rifle for the next season is. We also don't know the rarity, so it might be something where it's uncommon rarity, it's rare rarity, maybe it's epic or legendary, who knows. And they could also make it have multiple tiers, so maybe you could go ahead and spend 500 bars for the first tier, 1,000 for the second tier, 2,500, an insane amount of bars for like the higher up tiers in order to get more starting loot, in order to be able to have higher rarity weapons off rip and everything else, but it is still something that they are working on and we could be seeing in the near future. And honestly, one thing I saw from the actual season trailer that I don't know if too many people picked up on, maybe it was just me seeing things, but I did notice it with the Reboot van. It looked like in the trailer there was a weird little revamped Reboot van that actually had like a Reboot here sign or Reboot card sign actually attached to the top of the van, which might actually show that this could be like a Reboot van merchant where it works like a normal van, but it's also one that you could find around the map that actually gives you the option to purchase these better upgrades. But it is something I noticed and just thought, maybe it was a sign or something I had missed before, so I shouldn't really talk about it too much, but seeing as we're getting more and more information about these Reboot vans and these upgraded Reboot cards, it might actually be a feature that is coming out later this season, and it might be a nice little upgrade to the Reboot vans we already have in the game already. But I'd love to hear in the comments down below, what do you think about this upcoming Reboot van system? What do you think about how they're going to be revamping it and kind of, modernizing it, especially in the season where it's super duper easy to actually get bars? And are you excited for whatever else they could be cooking up behind the scenes for the future of Fortnite? But with that said, I hope champs and champettes enjoyed today's video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and I'll catch you guys next time with another upload. So until then, peace out.